What's going on, guys? It is Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today I am finally doing the video on the Holy Trinity, Rick Hinderer, Chris Reeve, and Mick Strider. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. All right, today is the day. Today is the day we're going to talk about the Holy Trinity. That is Rick Hinderer, Chris Reeve, and Mick Strider. I first heard about the Holy Trinity on a guy you might have already heard, Metal Complex. He's not very famous. Metal Complex. Everybody knows Metal Complex. If you don't, go check out Metal Complex's channel. He is one of the best in the business of YouTube content when it comes to knives. So definitely go check him out. He was the first one that I guess heard call it the Holy Trinity, which I didn't exactly know what it meant at the time. So watched more videos and I was like, all right, that's it. My goal is to get the Holy Trinity. And so I made it happen. I first picked up the XM-18 3.5 inch from the man himself, Slicey Dicey. And then I picked up the Chris Reeve, this is the large Incosi. And then I picked up the Mick Strider, this is the SMF. Now, of course, all of these makers have different models. Of course, Chris Reeve's, the Sabenza 21. Now, of course, they have a Sabenza 31. I chose to go with the Incosi, for a few reasons. You can definitely go check out the review of that guy to find out why I chose the Incosi. And then, of course, Rick Hinderer, the iconic design of the XM-18. Of course, they have a 3-inch. This is the 3.5 inch. They also have an XM-24, which is the big boy, kind of comparable to this, which is the SMF, which one of the most popular ones is the S&G, which is the smaller version of this knife. So I wanted to get all three of them in hand, carry them for a while, and figure out, first of all, is the hype real for all three of these brands? If you look at my review of each individual knife, which I will probably link in the description below, you will see that, yes, I believe the hype is real on all three of these manufacturers. These are all 100% made in the United States. So very good, very iconic American-made companies and designs, which is a big deal for a lot of people. It's a big deal for me, America first. So I wanted to get these in hand, and I like them all. But this video is kind of go over which one that I would pick out of all of them. Now, I think that everybody should, if you are a knife collector, knife enthusiast, and not somebody who just, buys a knife to have and carry for the rest of his life, these would be very, very good picks for that. But most people who are going to be looking at these knives are probably more on the spectrum of very big knife enthusiasts or collectors, because let's face it, most of us, most people are not willing to spend what these knives cost. These knives are, more than $400. Okay, so around $425, $450. The Mick Strider, those brand new are around that price. The aftermarket prices kind of get a little crazy, but yeah, so around the $425, $450 mark is what these knives cost, brand new. So you got to take that into consideration. So most people are not going to spend that kind of money on knives, and I get it. I'm fine. I mean, I'm a knife guy. I'm a knife collector, so I spend money on the knives that I want to experience. Not everybody's going to be like that, but if you're watching this video, you probably are. So if you're trying to decide on which one to get, it's very personal preference. It really, really is. I mean, I'm a guy who I like big overbuilt stuff, and so that's where I kind of tend to go. But I have a lot of knives that are just great EDC knives. I mean, it's very personal preference. Some people have niches. Some people collect a bunch of stuff, which is really me. I have a bunch of different size knives, different materials, whatnot, just because I love it and I respect the quality and the manufacturing that goes into them. And these are about the best of the best as far as the American-made products that are available. In my opinion, please, I know there's a bunch of others out there, and I haven't gotten my hands on a bunch of them, so I can't speak to those, but I have had these for a while. So let's kind of get started on what we have here. So this is the large Incosi, Chris Reeve large Incosi, very, very well built knife. This one happens to be the Tonto grind, Tanto, tomato, whatever you want to say. Very, very tight tolerances, well made, titanium frame lock. This one I chose over the Sebenza 21 for a few different reasons. Go check out the full review of that. But this knife is put together so very well. I can even front flip this guy, so that makes me happy. These things are known for their hydraulic, super smooth action, and it does not disappoint. This one, however, the Incosi, the way it's designed is a little bit more fidgetable, where you have that ability to kind of mess with the pivot and make it more so a flickable knife rather than your regular rollout, which is what the Sebenza is all about. This one kind of gives me the best of both worlds, where I can flick this thing out with authority if I want to, and then it has that super smooth, super smooth action. Very well made materials. You have titanium. This is a bead blasted titanium all over. Of course, Chris Reeve uses S35 VN steel. He is one of the many people that kind of had a hand in making or designing that steel. And so he does it, he does it very, very well. He runs it a little bit on the softer side than a lot of other folks, because this is a knife that he designed for people to basically last them forever. It has decent edge retention, but it makes it easier to sharpen. He gives you the tools in the package to take this thing apart, clean it, grease it. He gives you Loctite. He wants you to buy this knife and be able to have it, use it forever, and even pass it on to your children if you want. That's how well built these things are made. The tolerances are absolutely crazy. I work in the manufacturing field, and the tolerances that he uses on these knives are, they are as good, if not even better, than some of the tolerances that we have to hold to make implants to go into your body, for heaven's sakes, because that's what my company does. So super cool, very well built, very ergonomic knife. One of the things I love about this knife is the crowned spine. That tickles my fancy so much. Just a really great EDC knife. Now this one is definitely built. It's for work. I mean, you can use this knife in very, very heavy duty applications. But in my application, it would just be a EDC knife. It works very well. The grind that he does on this very, very, what does he call it? Shallow, hollow grind, I guess, because you can feel it. It is a hollow grind, but it's very shallow. And the reason he does that is genius, is because he wants you to be able to use this knife forever. And when you go to sharpen it, the thinness behind the edge will not get thicker until you're like way up here. So that is genius. I really think that a lot of other companies should kind of follow that, because we keep our knives and we keep sharpening. The more you sharpen, especially on a traditional hollow grind, the thicker it's going to get behind the edge. So very, very cool. Chris Reeve is an excellent designer, excellent manufacturer. He's won probably more and all of the quality awards that you can get in the knife world. So that is Chris Reeve, and this is the large Incosi. Next one is Rick Hinderer. Same deal. Everything made 100% in the USA. The tolerances on the XM-18 and all of his knives are just absolutely superb. I'm telling you, American-made companies, you do pay more. I mean, 100%, you pay more. It just costs more to manufacture right now in the United States than it does anywhere else. But you absolutely feel it in these knives. This knife is so well built. I just feel like this knife I can do anything with and never have a problem. This one is wearing black G10, of course, titanium frame lock. You have your, excuse me, your lock bar stabilizer down here, which was an invention of Mr. Rick Hinderer himself. Super, super cool. You have a lock, what do you call it? Lock bar, not a lock bar stabilizer, but a crap cowl. What are you trying to say? The this thing, gee whiz.
2 hours later.
You know, the lock bar insert. There we go. Lock bar insert. So it is steel on steel. So it is no lock stick. This thing's action is freaking stellar. It is running on bearings right now. But the reason that I really, really love Rick Hinderer is because this knife has the ability to be changed out. It's got the tri-way pivot system. You can run this thing on bearings, you can run it on phosphor bronze washers, or you can run it on nylon washers, which is what he originally was running his knives on, and a lot of people was giving him crap about it, even though they worked great. So he was like, you know what? Okay, let's give the people what they want, and he designed the tri-way pivot system. Revolutionary, okay? I mean, the fact that you can run this knife on anything that you want is such a freaking cool idea. Stellar. I absolutely love it. This one is in CPM 20CV. They make exclusives in M390. You know, you can get them at a bunch of different steels. You can get them at a bunch of different finishes. This one is the slicer grind. You can get them in all kinds of grinds, Spanto grind. I mean, just tons. One of their slogans is make it your own, and you definitely can. This one is eventually going to get scales and hardware and stuff to make it my own. But I absolutely 100% don't regret buying this at all. This is just an iconic knife that, you know, if you watch Slicey Dicey and people like Slicey Dicey and Metal Complex, they'll tell you they love Hinderers, and until I got it in hand, I didn't really see what the difference was, because ZT makes a bunch of Hinderer design knives, and there was a lot of stink a long time ago, especially if ZT made a better Hinderer. And I've been able to you know, handle some of those designs, and ZT makes great products, but it's not a Hinderer. It's just not. Some people might give me flack about it, but I love it. One thing I do love, you can actually get these in a non-flipper and a choilless, so they give you all kinds of designs. I personally love the finger choil. These kind of ergonomics work absolutely wonderful for me. And speaking of that, that is why I am in love with this knife. This is the Mick Strider SMF. This one has a hole deployment, which makes me happy. If you guys know me, I love saying it, even though I didn't come up with it. Holes are greater than studs. That is Jake from Bearded Gear. Go check him out. He came up with that. I'm still mad at him for it because it's just genius. I wish I'd have thought about it. But so this one definitely checks that box for me as having the hole deployment, which, because I love to finger flick my knives. You can definitely use the blade stops to deploy it, and you can do the thumb deployment on the hole. You can do it in a bunch of different ways, but of course I choose that. The reason this knife, you can go, why I'm going to link all those videos down below, but this knife was not calling to me until I started hearing and seeing some of these on Metal Complex's channel, because I thought it looked a little clunky. I thought it looked weird, which I like big knives. I like big overbuilt knives, but I was like, this just looks weird. Guys, let me tell you, when I got this thing in hand, the ergonomics, the way this thing flares out, the forward finger choil, this absolutely is wonderful for my application, my big old hand size, that I can come back here, get some reach, do some chopping, get a regular saber grip and feel like I am just locked in like nobody's business. And then, of course, the forward finger choil to get behind it and do some stuff. I mean, I can do the same things with the, excuse me, the Hinderer, because it has that. I mean, it's kind of the same deal. This one's just a bigger blade. They do make an XM-24, which is a big boy. So definitely something that I'll probably end up with at one point. But the SMF, for me, very, very well built, You got a big old slab of G10, which these kind of like the XM-18, comes in an array of different kind of finishes and materials. This one is in S35 VN, has the flamed titanium lock side with the flamed titanium pocket clip. Absolutely no lock stick. This one does not have a lock bar insert, so this one is still on titanium. A lot of people don't like that, and whenever you first get these, they do require some breaking in. I did not have to do that because I bought this knife secondhand from a gentleman who had already broken this thing in. This thing is super smooth, absolutely no lock stick. Just a wonderful freaking knife. The action on this one is also very, very smooth. These have oversized phosphor bronze washers, not the same design as this, but definitely huge phosphor bronze washers on the Chris Reeve Large Incosi. And of course this one running on bearings. So this one is more of a drop shutty knife than both of these, but it's so freaking smooth. So all in all, I'm happy. This one, the lock blade stops, not as easy to deploy as if you're using the blade stop on this one. For me anyways. I'm not sure why it's like that for me, but it's just not as easy to do. So I definitely prefer the flipper action. Now they make a one with a fuller in it that where you can use the middle finger flick. Holy moly, would I really like that, and that will probably be in the works soon. But all in all, guys, 3 American-made companies, 3 American-made knives that are absolutely stellar, and you would not go wrong purchasing any of these knives. These are so well built, it's not even funny. Great designers. Which one would I pick? Guys, man, it's a hard question, but first and foremost, the Chris Reeve knife is such a well-built knife. It's just not like, as far as my taste, this one is probably the one that I would get rid of first. I know a lot of people are probably, I mean, there's a lot of Chris Reeve fanboys out there, and I get it. You guys, you are correct. These knives are very well built, awesome, awesome blades. It's just a personal preference for me. If I had to pick only one out of these 3 knives, it would be a very, very hard choice between these 2. However, if I had to pick one, it would be the Mick Strider. Yeah, I know a lot of people are, what? I'm telling you, it's just the ergos. The ergos on this knife, and just the way that it's built, this big tank of a knife, it's just something that tickles my fancy. So this knife will never ever leave. I love this thing so very much, and will probably have more Mick Striders. However, I know that I will eventually also have more Rick Hinderers, especially the one with the fuller, so I can middle finger flick if I want to, and then the XM-24, just because I love big knives. Yeah, I have an XM-24 and one of these guys. Yeah, that's going to happen. So anyways, this is the Holy Trinity. This is what I perceive to be the 3 really best well-made American-made products on the market today. I am definitely going to keep these 2. This one, I'm just not sure about yet. If you're interested in a large Incosi, I might sell it. I don't know yet because I just don't like really selling knives, even though I probably should. But if I had to get rid of one, it would be the Chris Reeve, even though it really is such a superb knife. I mean, especially the Incosi, because it is more flickable. You know, just when you have it in hand, guys, it is a very, very well-built knife, and when you put it in hand, you can't respect it until you do. You know, the rounded spine, I wish all knives had the crown spine. I mean, if these 2 had it, holy crap. I think more manufacturers need to do that. So anyways, guys, that's my 2 cents on the Holy Trinity. Let me know what you think. Which one of these knives do you prefer? I know each one of these knives and manufacturers have like cult followings. I mean, there are some hardcore Chris Reeve fans, hardcore Rick Hinderer fans, and of course Mick Strider as well. These 2 are absolutely readily available. You can get them at any time, anywhere almost. The Mick Strider is available. They do drops, but it's just a little bit harder to come by because they sell out so fast. So that's definitely a turn off for a lot of people, for the Mick Striders. But you know, they also, this one's an older one. The newer ones have an M Strider on it, so this one's definitely older, and then the blade stops are a little bit different. But I absolutely love it. I love all these knives, really. So please, in the comments, let me know, out of these 3 knives, which one's your favorite? Have you handled them? Or are you just going off of what you've seen? You know, that I want to know what you guys think, because wow. I mean, you just can't appreciate it until you get it in hand, guys. And one of the reasons I did this video is because I want everyone to know that, yes, the hype is real on all 3 of these. They are absolutely well-built monsters in the knife world. Absolutely. I feel that these knives would stand the test of time before any of my other ones, hands down. So, guys, let me know in the comments. If you're still watching, go check out my raffle video we're doing for a wonderful gentleman in the community. Buy some tickets to win some epic, awesome, cool gear. I'll have a link for that down in the description as well. Stay safe in this crazy world that we're living in, and we'll see you in the next one.